Like every city across the country, we've had to shift our focus to address the impacts of civil unrest and COVID-19.
COVID-19 is a respiratory issue, and poor air quality can lead to increased rates of asthma and things of that nature, which is a comorbidity, and therefore it translates into a higher death rate for populations that have higher rates of asthma.
So this reality that we're living in right now, it really requires us to double down on the goals that we've set for our city to address climate change, to become a low-carbon city, those goals that were unanimously passed through the Strategic Energy Action Plan in 2018.
We're trying to reduce greenhouse gas emissions at a pace that is aligned with the Paris Climate Accord. And so that's to reduce emissions by a significant amount by 2050 in order to avoid some of the more catastrophic impacts of climate change.
These goals are twofold. We want to ensure that our fleet and our buildings are run by zero carbon sources by 2030. And then we want to become a low carbon city by 2050. So by participating in the American Cities Climate Challenge, this has really enabled us to accelerate our work, to learn from the work of peer cities, and to make sure that we can pivot quickly in this really challenging time that we're in right now.
While other cities in the challenge, quite frankly, were furloughing staff and were making significant budget cuts, I think everyone from the American Cities Climate Challenge certainly wants to applaud the city of Charlotte on sticking to their commitment and their goals around sustainability. It's these investments that folks are going to look back on and say, wow, they're really leading by example.
This year in June, the city manager signed our sustainable and resilient fleet policy. And this policy ensures that when we replace vehicles, we're replacing them with the vehicle where technology is available that has the lowest emissions. So combining that with our investment in 27 new electric vehicles this year, plus $1 million worth of electric vehicle charging, which will result in about 38 new stations, is really going to lay the groundwork not only to support our steps in the near term, but over the next 10 years for full fleet electrification. You may have heard that CATS won a $3.7 million grant from the FTA, and this grant will result in 6 battery electric buses, charging infrastructure, and workforce development training.
CATS is so pleased to receive this low-no grant from the Federal Transit Administration. This grant will allow us to acquire 3 different sets of electric buses, test those in an urban environment, and make the best choice for transitioning our fleet to electric buses in the future.
Initially branded as Project Peace, but now under the name Renew, which stands for Renewable Energy and Efficiency Workforce, we will be training at least 45 new folks in clean energy jobs. Those jobs include HVAC as well as mechanical. We'll be excited to see those folks not only receive the training, but be placed in permanent positions upon the successful completion of their training. Last year, you passed our large-scale off-site solar project, which was a partnership with Duke Energy called the Green Source Advantage Program. So this year, with a $2 million budget allocation and the approved budget, we're turning our focus to rooftop solar. So we're looking forward to putting rooftop solar on many of our municipal buildings as a result of this allocation. But as we start to look out towards our community and look at residential buildings in particular, one thing that is really clear is that we have residents, like in many cities, that are cost burdened, or what we call energy burden. And this means that they're paying a large portion of their income on utilities and specifically energy. We'll need to keep that in mind as we look towards some of our next steps to become low carbon. So taking on these goals has been a huge challenge, and we have accomplished a lot over the last year and a half, and especially over the last several months, as you can see.
So I think it's a testament to the type of teamwork and the individual city staff at the City of Charlotte that have all stepped up and, quite frankly, taken Charlotte to another level.
One consistent observation that I've had is that during difficult economic conditions, sustainability programs often are one of the first targets for moving budget dollars away. So it's treated more as an accessory instead of a necessity. And with the FY21 $3 million budget allocation, Charlotte has bucked that trend and really focused in on maintaining that momentum that's so critical for these programs to really get where they need to and accomplish their goals. So Charlotte deserves a lot of praise for that.
It's going to take a continued effort among city departments, collaborating as we've done, as well as the community and our private sector partners to really reach towards the ambitious goals that you've set. So we are not slowing down. We need to keep building momentum, and we look forward to doing that with you.